Hey, what's going on, guys? John and Jimmy of the Benchwarmers checking in for the United View YouTube channel. The match review of the game, Manchester United versus Liverpool. The game held at Old Trafford has ended 2-2, a frustrating draw. I personally feel like it's dropped points yet again. But at times, the crazy thing about this game was that at times, if you told me we were going to end with a draw, I would have said, please give it to me. But also at times, I'm like, why are we ending with a draw? It's such a frustrating repetition of inconsistency that we've seen throughout the entire season. And I think the performance again today summed it up entirely. The inconsistency, the lack in decision-making, that was really the tale of Manchester United's performance tonight.
I mean, what more is there to talk about? This has been the style of our season, the entire season. We look like we can't get in the game. Somehow we managed to get into the game, and then it just absolutely deflates in the last 10 minutes of the match. Walk us through that first half, because that first half did not look good. When we were watching it, we wanted to talk about everything that wasn't the football.
Yeah, we probably spent like 15, 20 minutes talking about our shared love for tacos.
Adidas Predators.
We also talked about the song Tennessee Whiskey.
We were singing.
We were doing a cappella. We were doing everything except talking about the football because Manchester United looked so lost. How many times? I swear to you, I can probably go back and watch our stream. The entire stream, I was like, go on, Cassie. What are we doing, Cassie? Go on, Harry. No, Harry. Go on, Wamby. What are you doing, Wamby? Go on, Bruno. What are you doing, Bruno? Go on, Garner. What are you doing, Garner? We spent the whole stream showing love and pulling back because it was so inconsistent. We do one thing great and followed immediately thereafter with something silly.
Yep.
And look, we were trying to sort of figure out or get to the bottom of why that might have been the case. And I think it comes down to, like you said, and I think I personally agree with you and you're spot on. I think it was a lack in confidence. They looked dejected on that pitch in that first half. I really do believe that they were second guessing themselves in an entirety. Yeah. It might be a quality thing. Like, for example, in that first half, we were talking about how I thought Marcus was like sort of getting himself into the game. I thought he was being a little bit more the efficient players in the first half, but there was that moment on the far left side where a ball really came high in the air, and Rashi had to bring the ball down, and he first touch passed it back to Wamby in the air because that was the only pass he had. But then Wamby had an option to bring the ball down and feed it to Rashi, not on the ground, but he could have relatively brought the ball low to the ground. But he decides to thump it back up, like almost kind of like, like side footing it all the way back into space and forcing the ball into a really precarious situation for Rashi, and then we lose the possession there. That was that pretty much sums up how we were playing the entire, like bad passes, bad touches, bad decision making, like taking too much touches on the ball. Yeah. Like, I mean, we started off well with the offsides goal, but again, you said in the stream we said that Garner, he made a decent run, but was it that he was a second too early, or was that Bruno was a second too late? I think it was a combination of both. Honestly, it was so inconsistent from everybody today, and it was so frustrating to see.
Yeah, I mean, we have to talk about that Liverpool goal from the first half. Again, set piece after set piece after set piece. We can't seem to nail down how to defend any of these set pieces.
I don't know what to do.
Cross comes in, Liverpool player wins the ball.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz at the 6-yard line. 3-4 United players just standing around him, staring, not moving, hoping that he just misses the ball and comes out with an incredible finish.
I don't know if it has to do with the fact that Eric Ramsey has left to coach Minnesota United. I don't know what it is, but something has to be done with the set piece defending. What did I say in my video? I said our problem was a lack in communication and a lack in organization. Somebody needs to take charge in those situations. I don't care if Casemiro can't speak that English that well. I know he does because I saw that video recently. He was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I was like speaking pretty well." Yeah. Some leader in that situation has to take control because this is not a one-off thing. Like you said, we've been seeing this way too many times.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what's going on in that situation because it's not like the ball's whizzing past the goal line and then it just suddenly falls in front of Luis Diaz. It's floating up. Someone should get their body on the line. Somebody should be getting in front of that ball, and yet we do not have anyone doing that, and we concede another set piece.
It might be easier said than done, but our problem is the consistent inconsistency. That's been our issue.
Right, and throughout that entire first half, like John said, a player would absolutely do amazing. A great pass, a great tackle, great defending, and then immediately afterwards, kind of misplaced.
Like, for example, Harry would sprint up, head the ball, win it, right? And then he'll receive the ball back, and then he'll just yeet it somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, and that was like, and not just, I'm not talking about just Harry, I'm talking about everybody. That was the story of today's game.
Yeah.
You talked about Garnacho. We love Alejandro Garnacho. That's our star boy.
Yeah.
But today, it was, I personally think it was a little bit subpar from him today.
Yeah, it was a little off day. Like you said, Rashid also had his moments, had his chances. You know, unfortunately, in the second half seems to have taken a knock, was subbed off. But we have to talk about that second half because if the first half there was nothing to mention, there was a lot to mention in that second half. Just like the first half, we had a chance early in the match, but this time in the second half, we slotted it past Kwanzaa with a misplaced pass around half. Bruno Fernandes giving his best Edison Cavani impression, hitting that first touch right over the tips of Kelleher into the goal. What were your thoughts on that?
I think that's why Bruno gets selected, and I think that's why he gets picked.
Exactly.
Because he might be having a stinker,
Yeah.
but his work rate and his quality at time, like
Yeah.
when he's on it,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, we have to applaud him as well. He got the goal, and he was running the whole game. I think what it was like the 92nd minute. It was a counterattack, and for some reason, Bruno's at CB getting the ball right in front of Andre Onana.
That's why it's hard to drop
play.
Bruno.
Yeah,
and that's why it's a difficult circumstance that we find ourselves in. And
yeah,
if Bruno is exhausted, we need to pull him out.
Absolutely,
but we don't have
no one to replace that
we don't have that depth
Yeah.
In terms of like a like for like almost. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we might have a creative player in Ahmad. We might have a creative player like my guy Mace. But Bruno is undroppable for those reasons.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that's the live by the sword, die by the sword moment for Erik ten Hag. He's not afraid to hook off Marcus Rashford at times. We've seen that this season. But it seems like Bruno is one of the more undroppable players.
Yeah.
I mean, it paid off for him today, which we were delighted
It did.
with.
I know a lot of people during the first half and during halftime were saying to take Bruno off, but the gamble, quote unquote, gamble kind of paid off. We have to talk about the highest point of that match for us, at least. Bring that out. Bring it out. Come on. Show the love to our boy, our star boy, Kobe Mainoo, with that incredible goal.
I went hiking.
The composure.
I went hiking yesterday.
The elite mental fortitude.
I went hiking.
The shot. Get that into the goal from that angle. Just incredible.
I went hiking yesterday. You gonna let me finish, or you gonna keep? I went up top of a mountain with this shirt, right? And I pointed it out to the sky, and then I hit him with the spirit energy. I said, "Here's my chakra." It paid off. I'm taking credit for that.
Well, you can't take credit for the win because just like that Chelsea game, at the end of that game, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, having come back from multiple injuries this season, gave away a careless, if I dare say, bad tackle in the box on Harvey Elliott.
It was disappointing for me because Wamby is world class at one thing, and that's his tackling.
Right.
His timing is immaculate.
Right.
That tackle there from me looked very reckless.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Wamby there because I honestly think that he knows himself like that was not a good idea to tackle.
Yeah, that was not. I mean, the ball was yards away by the time he was on the ground.
That was a battle of mental strength and mental fortitude between Liverpool and Man United, especially when Liverpool were all over us in the box. They were like freaking, they were like moving inside the 18-yard box in and out the whole time.
Yeah.
That was a battle of who's like holding it down.
Yeah.
It's like Russian roulette type of thing. And we lost. And that was because Aaron Wan-Bissaka kind of went in with that tackle. And I was upset because you guys know how much I freaking love Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Well, and Mo Salah obviously stepping up for the penalty, slotting it past Andre Onana. But, I mean, even after that, Liverpool had chances. And your boy, Mason Mount, coming up clutch in the one of the most important, I think, in the end of that game moments. Mason Mount barely cutting off a ball, cutting right into, I think it was Mohamed Salah.
It would have been, he would have hit 99 power in that shot.
He would have put some vim in that.
He would have put a hole through Andre Onana's gloves.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was so close and he would have been wide open.
Yeah.
But the clean clutch touch of Mace.
Yeah.
Every feature that Mace has had since he's come on and returning from injury has been important.
It's been good.
It's been important.
It's been good.
I don't care if Mace came back and he was like, scoring 5 goals apiece.
Yeah.
That's not what I want. I want him to consistently get back into it.
Yeah.
And what we've seen from Mace every time he's featured since he's returned from injury has been efficient. And I love that. That touch in the box, I'm telling you, super important.
That touch in the box, and he also had a touch right past a Liverpool player to start a breakaway for us that almost ended in a goal.
And that who was the one that made the error? Was it Bruno with the off when we had that break where we should have made a better decision there from Bruno?
Yeah.
But we got hit with a huge counterattack. Who was there to break that counterattack with a tactical foul?
Mace. Your boy Mace. I mean, if there's anything else to talk about, it has to be the end of that game, drawing it. At the beginning, before the game, I was on the side that thought we were going to get smashed up. But what are your thoughts after watching that game on that draw?
It's honestly, just to wrap it up, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think this has been the story of our season. The inconsistency, the confusing results. For us to sit here like, are we happy? Are we sad that we drop points? We gain points? Like, we don't even know at this point anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean?
My emotions are just like this.
Yeah, I mean, we were doing a cappella singing Tennessee Whiskey, you know what I mean?
You're
right. As smooth as Tennessee Whiskey.
And on that note.
Anyway, my man of the match, I'm going to give it to Willie Kimboala. Phenomenal player. One of the more consistent players on the pitch today.
Phenomenal. I think even though he had those mistakes in that first half, I think he really clutched up in that second half. Yeah. Came up with some incredible tackles in the box, outside the box.
He was strong today.
Absolutely.
And I love that from the young lad.
Absolutely.
We don't want to put pressure on young kids, but he was great.
For me, man of the match, keeping it different, I don't want to choose Kimball as well. You can't not give it to our boy Kobe Mainoo, coming up with an incredible second goal, but another delicious goal.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure you get in the comments below and let us know what were your thoughts in the match. And if you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you guys enjoyed what you saw from us today, please consider come checking us out. Yeah. Today was a very confusing day of football.
Yeah.
But that's it from us for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be happy, be healthy, take care of your loved ones. And until next time, we will see y'all later. Peace.